Hello and welcome to another episode of Who Knew in the Moment, the podcast. I'm your host, Phil Friedrich, and today I am honored to have David Carlin with me. David and his wife, Patricia, are the owners of Carlin Global. And one thing that really stuck out to me in their story as I was able to learn about it is just the resilience, and now they're focused on helping others. And so I know that's going to stick out in our time together today. So, David, thanks so much for being on.
I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
You bet. So, talk a little bit about, in our younger years, sometimes we see an entrepreneur in our family, and that's why we go into it. Other times, it's just an avenue that opens up and we pursue it. Talk a little bit about, your entrepreneurial start and, those younger years for you.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, you say it that way. I mean, my dad, well, he was partners, but did run a company, right? So he essentially was a partner, eventually got equity into a company that he ran, which ended up being a very successful company. So I guess I did have that to look up to, but um, man, I guess the first, he's a good friend of ours, Ray Kwan, like the first Wu-Tang record, the first hip hop, the first whatever DJs, anything like the diamonds, the cars, the jets, the life, like all that stuff was like that was the thing that, for every one person is completely different. And let me be
Yeah.
very clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting all the fancy stuff. There's nothing wrong with shouting from the rooftops talking about the fancy stuff, right? We're always told, which I was told literally from my mother, Steve, stop bragging about that. You can't brag. If you talk about that, you're bragging. Well, if
Mm.
I'm waiting for my turn for someone to talk about my success, I may be waiting my whole entire life, right?
Yeah.
So I was always the center of attention. I was rich before I was rich because I would, tell people I was rich, but I wasn't. I was
Yeah.
driving my dad's car, acting like it was mine before, like so I've always had it that I was going to be rich, and no matter, and maybe I think it's maybe one of those things where you just say it enough, and then eventually going on to start various companies from 18 to now I'm 38. I've always essentially from 18 to 38 worked for myself, owning different various companies. And, it's just that perseverance and that drive that no matter, and I've had some companies when I was younger where they didn't make a ton of money. And, where me and a lot of employees would surf mostly every day and then sort of work the company. But that was cool. Like we loved that. But I think just that having that drive to be able to control your future and whatever you are after is the thing that I was like, I will never work for anybody, no matter what, was kind of the thing.
Yeah. Well, so with that, I think for a lot of people, success or however you want to use that term is defined differently, right? To some people, it could be monetarily. To someone, though, what you just described, right? Hey, I was just out surfing most of the time. That could be success, right? I have a lot of time flexibility. Talk about, for people out there that are maybe trying to figure out what it is that they truly want, how to go about that.
So let me tell you what you have to watch out for. First.
Yeah.
So just share myself. Some of you guys may know us now because of our company, Residual Payments. That's freaking all over the internet because we have to. Unfortunately, freaking hate it, but we have to be all over the internet for you guys and showing the lifestyle because you just have to. It's a part of the game. So, with that being said, when we came into building Residual Payments, Patricia and myself, have owned and still own so many successful companies like SaaS companies, payments companies. The list goes on. We're investors aligned nightclubs and restaurants. And with that being said, we had to try out a million different people, pay this person to do this, pay this person to do this, pay this person. And from growing your Instagram, which I hate it because it's all those platforms where it's like stupid. Half the people that follow us are probably in different countries. Cat's out of the bag. I wish I could get rid of them. Paying, to just be on publications that are absolute junk because I was like, I don't want to wait 10 years. I know these other people paid their dues. Here's cash, get me to the front of the line.
Mm.
And outside of podcasts, I think are the most important thing and the most powerful thing people can be on, even if you can be on free ones or what have you, definitely do podcasts, is thinking that I was going to pay somebody to get me the front line and they're going to care as much as I cared about my company, and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, because for the most part, a lot of people are self-serving. So I think
Yeah.
patience is what people need to learn in the beginning where we built Residual Payments 2 years ago. Now, for me, I believe it's below average, even though it's the largest training company in the world, never been done before. I thought we'd be even at a different place of where I'm at right now. Am I happy? 1000%. But that's where even the big companies that we own, even how many companies that I've owned and my wife's owned our whole entire lives, we are constantly thinking sometimes a new idea is going to take off and maybe it's going to take double the amount of time, and to not give up on that idea and to keep persevering and to sometimes bootstrap yourself and stop looking for other people to help you is kind of what you need to do, because then that resentment builds. The more you feel like everyone's against you, the more people are not helping you, because you can't expect someone to be as passionate for your business if you're just paying them a side gig to help you with your business.
Yeah. And you said it earlier too. I know you had mentioned, hey, my mom gave me a hard time about, really talking
Still
about
does.
yeah,
It still does. Yes.
about what we're doing. But I think it's really an important thing to highlight, right? And that is, if you're not going to be your own biggest fan, how can you expect someone else to be, a big David fan, a big Patricia fan with what you're doing? So talk about, for you guys, how you go about self-promoting the business, but also, how that can attract, clientele and opportunities.
So I heard a great thing. I was listening to Brad Lee the other day. Supposed to be on his podcast the other day. Sorry, Brad, if you're listening. I'm sure you know this, but you may listen to this. And I was listening to him. He was talking about Grant and Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone's weird name drop thing is going to be on our virtual in a couple of weeks. And
Oh,
great guy. And when Grant Cardone was starting out, right, posting online every single day, Brad reached out to him. Was like, dude, like, I go on Facebook or whatever. I like stop. Like it's too much. It's too much. And he goes, you can unfriend me. You're not buying anything anyways, right? So I heard that. That's always stuck with me, and I always tell everybody. Everyone's so worried about. We build up all these scenarios in our head about what other people are going to think. Like, I've probably been wearing the shirt for 3 days. Like, quite honestly, a lot of you guys see me on interviews all across the board wearing the same hat because I'm cheap with stuff and I just kind of wear the same clothes, but it's because I haven't showered yet today. So you want this hat on my head. I do have hair, guy, by the way. I have a full head of hair. But then, I'll jump in my Rolls Royce Cullinan that I just bought and name drop. I own a Rolls Royce Cullinan. I'm saying that because I also need people to know I'm rich, because for me, I need that inside. But there's nothing wrong with
mm,
that.
mm.
I love driving my Rolls Royce. I love when people look at me. Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it. Everyone does. Everyone be like, no, like if you love it, say it. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't buy a Rolls Royce Cullinan because you want to be quiet. Like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like, when you got a Mandarin interior, 26-inch rims, you're pretty much looking for people to know you're rich, right?
Yeah.
So, but I see people online like talking about people buying things. I have zero mortgage. I have no debt. We own every single one of our companies. We own multiple companies. And I could retire tomorrow and tell everyone else to screw off and live the rest of my life and be good. But I'm below average where I want to be, because I want to ring that NASDAQ bell. I want to be, I'm going to get to the next level. And to your
Yeah.
original question, I was just in New York a couple months ago with my mom and dad, taking them out, got them like a 5-star, like, look at mom, look how rich I am. And I'll wear like diamond. And you'll see me sometimes, I'll wear like 3 or 4 diamond chains. Like, I'm like a rapper. Like, I really like, I wish I was. And I was like, Mom, you see that billboard? I'm gonna be ringing that bell. David, stop. You need to get back to reality. And she loves me. And my
Yeah.
mom's my biggest supporter. But it's funny, as much as she loves it, she hates when I'll be like, but I also wait. I've wanted to buy a Rolls Royce my whole life. I could have bought one probably 10 years ago. I waited. There was this one Rolex that I wanted that I'd never bought. And my wife and I waited like 8 years to buy it. And then we finally bought it. We could have bought it 10 years ago, but I always believe just if you want something, don't instantly buy it and then sit on it. And then if a year later you still want it, grab it. My dad always taught me, this is what's really helped me. If you can't pay cash for something, you can't afford it. And
Yeah.
that's what's really kind of helped progress us, where we never bet all of our money on one company. We never bet 50% of our money. Like, I don't ever throw 10% of our money into, like, that's the max I'll ever throw into anything. So it's kind of like gambling. If the roll of the dice doesn't work, I'm
Yep.
still rich.
Yeah. Now, in your younger years, you mentioned, hey, starting at 18, that was, getting entrepreneurial. What are, a couple lessons that you learned in your early entrepreneur walk that, have really formed and helped you become a better entrepreneur today?
well, I mean, way before 18. I mean, probably 14, 13, whatever. Like I had that magazine, whatever that was, where you would sell door to door and you could pick the things out, whatever. I got it fine. I forget that name. But I was doing like I was just doing everything. And I've always just been a leader. And I said it, I would said it on like another podcast was on. I've always been a boss. Just my aura, when you're around me, I'm gonna either way you're taller than me, you're better looking than me, I'm gonna command that your respect. And it's the way that I come across with my tone. It's the way that I'm confident in myself. So people are like,
Yeah.
why the hell is he so confident? Something's up. Something's up with this guy. Like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so let me be very clear. That took a very long time for me to really get to that level of confidence. And it doesn't mean I may be in the corner confident and everyone's like, that guy's a juice bag. Okay, but I'm still confident. I don't care. I'm still confident. It's not always going to work. You're not just going to be a shining light everywhere you go. Um, you know, sold weed for many, many, many years. That's honestly, I always say it. I don't care. There's nothing wrong with it. It's legal. That's why I say it. But and weed, and never, I was not, no one died. So is it taught me that business along with DJing, which I never really thought about, is DJing taught me how to work crowds.
Mm.
Where I was a DJ for 10 years, also owned an entertainment company while I was younger. Horrible thing because it was way too much drinking and everything, way too much partying. It was
Yeah.
the worst thing. And with my mentality of it's never enough, absolutely awful, right?
Mm.
So, but I'm glad I did it because it taught me how to work crowds, taught me how to work an audience.
Yeah.
And selling weed taught me how to work with every type of demographic. It taught me how to, when I saw the 30 people across the street selling, I wasn't the person's like, I want to be like them. No, 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 no. That's not the way my mind works. I go, where are they getting it from? Let me try to
Yeah.
find a better source and steal those 30 people.
Right.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So, I'm not, how can I join the group of the top? How can I be the leader? I will never be with the group.
That's good. That's good. Now, how did you transition from, selling drugs and, that lifestyle into running other businesses?
Um, it's just natural transition like anybody else, right? Well, I mean, eventually you grow up. Well, sorry if anyone still sells drugs. I
Yeah,
mean,
some do.
yes, some do. You're not going to sell pot forever. Well, I lasted 4 months in college and got kicked out for selling weed, which is the best thing that ever happened because I was in class. I'm like, why am I listening to this idiot teacher when I own my own company right now? I don't even know why I'm listening to someone who is telling me how to be an entrepreneur. Like, don't go to business school, learn how to be business from people who don't own businesses. Make any
Yeah.
sense to me. If you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, yeah, go to
Yeah.
college. We
Right.
definitely need that. But other than that, save your parents money for please. Like, if I had kids, I would be, hey man, you can go to college if you want and go party. I know that's all you're doing. Or I'll give you the 100 grand. Let's be partners in this business and just freaking try it. You're going to lose the money anyways. Let's see if something happens. Right.
Yeah.
So then I went on to have my entertainment company, was DJing for a very long time. And then had a car company as well, which started out originally just buying a car, driving it, and then selling it. Some of you guys may relate to that in this call where you buy a car cheap, you drive it, you sell it for more. And then eventually had my own little lot and progressed off of there. Then had a bike company. We were wildly successful with the bike company, online, offline. You could come in, road bike, bicycle, any type of bike. You could say, I want movies to play in my wheels. I want wooden handlebars. I want this. It was like Pimp My Ride,
Yeah.
essentially, what we did for bikes, because I really love the artistic element of building companies and doing things. And then when I owned my bike company, I met my wife, Patricia, which is my only wife and my wife that will be for the rest of my life. Met her and she was making money from her cell phone. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. She's like, I make money off of credit cards. I make residual income off of credit cards. I'm like, what do you mean? And it's funny being business owner for so long and all these different endeavors. I never really, like you, and no one really thought that the people are making residual income off of every credit card transaction. So I was like, you mean I have all this overhead, all these employees, every single day resets, and I'm gambling every single day, and then you get to be a silent partner in all these businesses? Screw this. I'm marrying you. Well, I think it wasn't that order. But I didn't marry you because of that. But after listening to it for so much, what people don't know is business owners themselves or people who want to be like Patricia and myself, business owners can switch their own merchant account, meaning how they accept credit or debit payments,
Yeah.
and cut out the middleman. Or you can be like a Patricia and myself and go out there and set up businesses. If I set up your bike shop, if I set up your e-com store, whether you're existing or brand new, every time you accept a card, if I set up that business, I make a percentage on every single transaction. Our oldest account's 15 years old. We get paid every single month from it. That's the beauty of this. So now fast forward, we own Residual Payments, the largest trading platform in the world. We own our multiple payments companies. We're investors in a lot of different technology companies. We're investors in a lot of nightclubs and restaurants. We also own a SaaS company, Sense CRM, and the list goes on. We're gonna keep going. So that's where we are today.
Yes. So starting with meeting Patricia, you said, "Hey, I'm owning a bike shop." I meet her there. Talk about the who knew in the moment there where you guys connected and how that progressed to now being married.
She's the same as me. I don't like that's how I run our companies, and maybe that's why we're really successful. Is like I don't like maybe I'm also very lucky. Let me paraphrase that. I don't really think about much.
Yeah.
And that's also like what comes up. I'm kind of one of those people that like I say what you maybe shouldn't say, like the thoughts that just automatically. I'm like Anchorman, right? We just read, it's just like read. And it was funny. They did that to me one day, my team, because I would just read whatever is on the screen. And I'm like a wildly intelligent idiot, like because I'm like such a spectrum, and so is Patricia, right? And met her that night, took her to dinner, moved in a week later, married within 9 months.
Wow.
And I never spent a night apart from her besides one night, like 6 months ago, for 10 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Work every single day together in our home, travel the world together, and we're business partners in every single one of our companies, and we're both still alive. So,
Yeah.
there's definitely, do we fight every single 1000%, but do we diffuse them right away? 1000%. But that's where we're very hyperactive. We use our insecurities and maybe things that are, that aren't the best about us to drive our success, as opposed to going and crying in the corner. And really having that partner, that teammate, whether they're involved in your business or they're not, they need to understand your business, because having that second set of eyes is the most important thing anybody can have.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of different folks that say, don't go into business with family, don't go into business with significant other. But I think something you just highlighted was really important. It's not that a fight's not going to happen. It's not that an argument or a disagreement's not going to happen, but it's how you handle it when it does happen.
The biggest thing takeaway from that statement that you said isn't what you said. It is that, why are people still listening to other people?
Mm.
I don't understand that. Like, listen, and you can listen, but it's your life. Like, you have all these people that, this isn't a true statement. It's just my own opinion. And again, we're all entitled. That's where the world, I think, is like, you can't say that anymore. Like, oh, shut up. Where like my own perspective, and this is not very true, but it's my own perspective because it doesn't apply to everybody. So if it offends you, then maybe I am talking to you. But everyone who's not really, really rich, I'm talking about that people have maybe less than $10 million in their bank account, right? Or maybe less than 5 million and don't really own companies, that's a lot of money. But those people, let's go under 5 million, and maybe they've been whatever for their whole lives. They preach, wake up at 2 a.m., do this, like all these like things, these mindset things about how you're supposed to be, which is all BS, right? And then you hear from people who actually have real net worths. Like when I talk to people, I go, yeah, it's hard work. Yes, it's this. Like, I'm not here to like make you think these things like, yeah, life's gonna suck. Yeah, this is gonna take longer. Like, stop freaking listening to all these people that are laying across Lambos and going, don't work with your spouse, work 1 hour a day, become a millionaire like me. Like, oh, shut up. Like, just shut up. And all these people online that most of you are listening to, not this podcast, obviously, but most of the people, I see it every single day. Other person just came for a merchant account. This person, that's as far as I will go, because I see everyone's bank accounts and how much they're processing, right?
Yeah.
So I see really behind the covers what's really going on. Brand new coach, helping business owners be successful, doesn't have $900 in her bank account, and is going to charge people 15 grand to make them successful.
Wow.
It would be like me going teaching Serena Williams how to be better at tennis.
Yeah.
Why are we living in a day and age where all these people who haven't reached this type, I think honestly, for anything online, if you're going to talk about it or you're going to teach it, it should say, if you're going to teach how to be wealthy, you need to show your bank account before the video starts.
Yeah.
If you're going to teach how to be good at soccer, I need to see that you were on a Olympic soccer team. If you're going to be a mindset, well, I need to see people with their minds, like I need to see that.
Yep.
And that's where, like you said, all these people to say, I guarantee half the people that are telling people not to work with their spouses probably have been divorced 5 or 6 times. And sometimes they're the ones going, yeah, it's them. It's them. Sometimes people need to look in the freaking mirror and go, I might be the common denominator here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So for you guys in the residual payments business, you kind of highlighted it. So essentially what you're doing is, yeah, people are accepting credit card payments, whether it's through Square or whatever it is. And you're saying, you know what, there's a fee that is charged in this transaction. And so we can help make your business more efficient, or we can lower that fee and things of that nature. So talk a little bit about, how you got started with that, what types of businesses are kind of ideal clients for you.
Yeah. So again, Patricia's been in this business for 23 years of credit card processing.
Yeah.
Pretty much her whole life, right? Like, I mean, she was selling, and as a kid, selling ties in the mall to credit card processing. I mean, essentially, that was like her transition, right?
Yeah.
She started when the first businesses started online. Like, think about that, when there wasn't, for some of you younger people, like we didn't always sell online. This is like, it didn't always happen. And when the Groupons of the world or Star Wars or Sony Music, she was helping all these companies start to sell online for the first time. Because it started out where it was just adult. And then it moved on to like, what do you mean sell online? Right? Like that was really a thing.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'm coming up on close to 10 years of officially, being in this industry. So over 30 years we've been doing this. We still do this today. 5 years ago-ish, short story, was the first person that I trained that wasn't in this industry. Now, we've been helping people in this industry forever get to the next level. But the person asked me the same question I asked Patricia. And it was literally, how do you golf? I was at a one country club, but how do you have a caddy and you golf every day? What the hell are you doing? You're 33 years old. You're at this prestigious club. I know where you live. Like, where's the money? Is it drug money? Are you from a rich family? Is it legal? Like, what is going on? Right. And that's where it threw me off with Patricia, because she was answering calls at 2 or 3 a.m. because she had clients all over the world. And it's like, I'm making money. Like, no one makes money at 2 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? If I was cell phone, like something's up. Like, so we went on to just keep teaching people offline, because people would ask, like even, just random people we would meet, like, how do you have that car? How do you have that house? How do you have that? How are you golfing on a Tuesday? Like the older guys would always ask me. And I always tell them, just land, every time you land an account, you make residual income off of it. Every credit card swipe, you make residual income off it. You can land brand new businesses. You can land existing businesses. You can steal from Square, Stripe, PayPal, all these companies. There's 33 million small businesses in the US alone, online and offline. So then it took up way too much of our time. We had taught so many people to be able to leave their jobs, be successful in this industry, that we built Residual Payments, which again is the #1 platform in the world, the largest in the world of people building their own payments companies. So it's like a Costco model. So instead of all these people having their companies everywhere and all of us competing, we move as one unit. So when we move as one unit together with all these companies as one, every time I set up a new relationship with new banking partners or what have you, they give me a rate. I go, not going to work. I go, why? Why, Dave? I go, because there's 1,000 people behind me coming with me.
Yeah.
Right. So we're working in power and numbers, and we get exclusivity and lower rates for everyone combined. So once you master making residual income off of credit cards, then my team and I show you how to make off payroll, show you how to make off funding, show you how to make off buy now, pay later, SaaS products, marketing, branding, social media, list goes on. There's about 6 or 7 different ways you can make residual income with us, of services you can provide to your clients. So the more value that you provide for them, the more money you make, everybody wins in that scenario.
Yes. Now, with that, I'm sure there's a reason you could help every business, but also there's typically for most businesses kind of a niche market or a certain demographic that you say, this is really our bread and butter, or this is where we have, the biggest competitive advantage. What does that look like for you guys, and who are you, coaching and targeting, from a business standpoint to really work with and serve the best?
So there's two different things. One, we target business owners because literally our program starts at $1. To work with us for a year costs 10 grand. There's no like upsell. What's your mind? I don't give a shit about what your mindset is.
Yeah.
Like this is real work. This is real business. This isn't me like dangling carrots, right? So just to be very clear. So you could join our program for $1 as a business owner and be like, just here to switch my own merchant account. Dave, screw off. Don't care about your stupid coaching or your help. I don't need a payments company. I'm just here to switch my own business over, which happens every single day. You can come in and then we analyze your statements. We see how we can integrate. And then you can instantly save and put money back in your pocket by cutting out the middleman, being the own agent on your own business. So one time, $1 is going to put money back in your business for the next 10 years every single month. Absolute no-brainer with no more work ever involved. Like you're an idiot if you're listening to this right now and you're contemplating, should I give him $1? Like, first of all, it's $1. We need to realize why you thinking about that. Number two, yes, it happens every single day. Number two is ordinary people who want to build their payments companies. Either they want to leave their jobs or what have you. I always tell everybody if they have a full-time job while they're doing this, you don't leave your job until this income surpasses that job. There's only two industries we tell people not to go after. Everything else we can do. Everything else we have probably done already. It's dispensaries because it is illegal no matter what anyone tells you to accept credit cards.
Oh.
Now, eventually it will be. I don't care what anyone
Yeah,
tells
right.
It's legal. And gas pumps. We don't do gas pumps. So we do the stores, but we just don't do the gas pumps. Other than that, any other business, as long as it's legal, we can process for, and we understand those industries, and we probably have clients in those industries. So that's the beauty of it. Online, offline, brand new, or existing businesses we can handle.
Yes. Now, for Patricia, she had been doing this for a long time and she was kind of a pioneer in the industry. For you, you got to see some of that from the outside, right? Before you really jumped in. But at what point in the business did you really feel like, man, this is going to have legs to grow and really become something special?
Um, you know, again, when we started before Residual Payments, I was just always, again, that guy that could get people in the industry. Like I'm the type of guy, like you give me 3 or 4 sentences about something and I'll sell it. Like I'm like, Dave, no, you need to learn about. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't really care. I don't really care about like, cause I'm always, and I still to this day, there's so many people in payments and it always will be that 99.9% of people in this industry know more about payments than I do. So that's just a sheer fact. I'm probably richer than 99.9% of all the people in payments from payments, right? And with the help of my wife, obviously, she's the one who kickstarted this whole thing. Without her, I wouldn't be in this. And without her, she was the main breadwinner starting when we first started out, which there's nothing wrong with saying that. She was making more money than me. But now I'm married to her now, so I can't really compete with her. But we're definitely on an even playing ground. But for when we're getting into it and everything else, like I always knew that I could get people to anything. You could say, hey, Dave, I'm opening up a burger joint and I want you to find the best burger flippers. I'll find them, right? Or I'll find the people, customers. When we built Residual Payments, I knew a light bulb went off before because I was like, holy crap, people who've never been in this industry are like literally leaving their jobs making, I'm not even going to say the numbers, guys, but good. I freaking hate when people, I'm a 7 or 6 figure earner. Oh God, shoot me. You were like, who, that term is just so cringeworthy. Anyway, sorry. So, and by the way, everyone talks about, and I'm still here. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Everybody, let me wait until it turns back on. I'll be 1, 2, 3. Everybody talks about how much they do but they don't minus out the expenses.
Yeah.
They don't go, I'm a 6, 7, 8-figure profit earner, profit, bank account, profit, equity, profit, profit, profit. They go, I'm going to show you how to make 7 figures a month. Well, yeah, you do, you do, let's say $500,000, $1 million a month, but you also spend $1 million in marketing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
fooling anybody. So when we built Residual Payments, it's kind of just like the most beautiful thing that I realize is, again, there's 33 million small businesses in the US, and we have I have about 1,000 active people that we personally work with on a day-to-day basis. We have 300 people a day that probably join our program, but not everyone wants to come and work with us. Some people go out on their own. You don't have to work with us. You can go do your own thing. Some people went on to get jobs, what have you. But myself included, in this ecosystem, it's about 1,100 people, and myself and Patricia, because there's so much business out there. There's 33 million small businesses.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about competing with each other. So we all help each other every single day. We're all essentially competition with each other,
Yep.
but we all support each other. And in this day and age, it's actually kind of incredible how everyone is so happy to see other people's wins and encourages everybody when they're competition. In other scenarios, if I was at our old payments company and I was like, and I got 10 agents together or 10 payments companies that brought us deals together, I'm like, hey, can you tell them what's working for you? They'd be like, screw that guy. I'm not telling him what's working for me. To have that is one of the most beautiful things, I think, inside of our program. That was the light bulb moment.
That's really good. That's really good. So, David, you're doing amazing things. You've got the business, you're teaching, you're coaching people. Are there any other moments that just kind of stand out to you as like who knew in the moments of things that when they were happening, you just weren't necessarily sure what was going to transpire from that?
I don't ever sit in any moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like we built that CRM company and we own a CRM. We wrote the whole entire code for. I don't believe in white labeling anything. If you're going to do it, you build it. And I knew nothing about it. I didn't know anything about code. I don't know. We're still building it today. I still don't know anything, but it's working. Like, I don't like sit back. My brain's like, I'm 5 a.m. to whenever hey, I was gonna say blackout, but that sounds like I'm a little raging drunk, but like just complete blackout with like exhaustion every day.
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock every day, where we're just going, 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 going. So the only like I'm still insecure. I'm still unhappy with myself. I'm still unhappy with everything that we have. I am not like it's a roller coaster every single day. So like I don't pat myself on the back. I don't believe I'm anything. That's why I need the things. That's why I need more houses. That's why I need I need the trips. I need like, and it's funny, those things, nothing really does it for me, honestly, to just be completely honest. Like, I don't know I don't know when it's going to do it for. I don't know, if a billion, I will be happy to $1 billion. I may, if I'm going to get there, not if I will get there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll be like, billion. That guy's got $1 trillion. And unfortunately, a lot of people suffer with the same thing that I do. And before, all I had to used to do back in the day, and for people who weren't online, for maybe in their 30s or 40s or 50s, I just had to crush Dan across the street, right? Dan got a better car. Screw Dan. I'm going to crush Dan. Like that, a small circle of people that I had a stunt on.
Yep.
Now, I unfortunately have all these people online that are perceiving to be better, or maybe are better or prettier or this. Like, it's not even just about monetary. It could be about anything. That every single day I see 5,000 Dans that I feel like that I'm not. And it is healthy essentially to make us try to be better, to push us further, but it's also unhealthy because then we fall into a thing of just never feeling like we're enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just a normal person, and I always tell everybody, listen to this podcast. I hope one of two things happen. Number one, everything I said, you're like, I like that guy, Dave. He inspired me. Or number two, you're like, dude, that guy is a raging idiot, and he inspired me to do what I know I need to do now is the exact opposite of him. Thank you for inspiring me. Like,
Yes.
let my imperfections, let me mumble, let me say the wrong things, let me say like just like look like not professional, so other people you can be like, dude, if that dude can do it, frickin' I can do it. Cool. You can too as well, because I think we all put these, more of like the coaching side, right? You see these coaches on stage and they're all fit and this and that and all. It's like, yeah, I drink, I smoke, like I'm not in the best shape, but I work like crazy. I own successful companies. Like sometimes you don't need every little thing to be perfect in your life.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
99% of people are never going to fit that God mold. And then these people are on these stages or whatever, acting like something, and they're but deep down inside, they're a totally different person. And I think just like cut the BS, just like show things that are bad about you, show your insecurities. Because when you do that, it opens up where people are scared to do that, but it shows that, yeah, and that guy Dave's like me. I can actually relate to him then. I kind of know him more. He's not perfect. I'll never be perfect, but let's get that crap out of there so we can get that out of your head so we can kind of be as successful as possible with your business so you stop worrying about what people are going to think.
That's really good. Yeah, I mean, a couple of just things to pull out of that comment that you made. One is, yeah, if I'm constantly comparing myself to someone else and I don't know what I'm striving for, I can reach certain levels, but I may never feel much fulfillment in what I've been able to accomplish. And then the second is, I think sometimes, a role model doesn't necessarily have to be someone you aspire to be like. Sometimes it can be like, I just don't want to be like that person, right? Like, and so I love the fact that you're just candid and authentic, and it's you, and it's, hey, if I inspired you, great, we connect. And if for whatever reason this doesn't inspire you, or it inspires you, but it just doesn't motivate you to be like me, that's okay too.
Yeah. I always tell people in payments, that they're like, Dave, what do you stop building this platform? It's horrible. You're bringing too many people in there. Like, I always tell everybody, people who also join our platform, I got two choices. I said, you're either with me or you're against me.
Mm,
And I said, if you're against me, I'm gonna run you over a million times because I'm just stronger, bigger. And now that's my philosophy. Now they actually may be richer and stronger and bigger, but that's just my mentality.
yeah,
Like it's like if we go into any game, like I just learned we have a pickleball court in our backyard. Again, name drop to be like, if a guy has a pickleball court, he's probably rich. I'm saying that, which is not wrong with that, because I again want to reiterate that I'm a rich person and rich in my world, right?
yeah,
Um, but again, everyone don't bite your tongue. Whatever you want to say, whatever is how your brain works. So I just got into pickleball. And I never used it before. And now let's say you're a really good pickleball player. You've been playing for a long time. I will
yeah,
say, Bill, no way in hell you beat me. And then once you beat me, I'm like, I definitely got you next time. Like
yeah,
I don't go and cry in the corner. And that's where I think people need that mindset
yeah,
where like, no matter what, I'm going to win. I don't
yeah,
care who you are. I don't care. Right. And that's where everyone also wants to wait their turn. They feel like they need to pay their dues. No, you need to not worry about paying your dues, but you need to learn about patience.
mm,
That's what you need. It's not waiting for your turn. It's start your turn, but be patient.
yes. That's awesome. Well, David, I want to say thanks so much for coming on today and talking about, your story, how you've gotten to where you're at and all the future things. And can't wait to continue to watch your guys' businesses grow and all the things you're going to be able to accomplish.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here. Thank you so much.